Dalton Connect is the first-round pick from last week's draft. Bronny James, well, he was in the spotlight. No surprise. The eldest son of LeBron's was the 55th overall pick after one season at USC where he dealt with a heart issue and played 25 games. It has been his dad's dream that they play together. Here's Bronny on the expectations of coming into the league with the James name.
It's for sure amplified amount of pressure. I've already seen it. Stuff, media and stuff in the internet and stuff, talking about I might not deserve an opportunity, but you know I've been dealing with stuff like this for my whole life, so it's nothing different, but it's more amplified for sure. But I can get through it.
Bronny has earned this, right? Bronny talks about his hard work. Bronny has earned this through hard work, and for us, prioritizing player development, we view Bronny as like case study one, because his base level of feel, athleticism, point of attack defender, shooting, passing, there's a lot to like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
On the scene is Dave McMenamin, who didn't leave his wallet in El Segundo, but he's covering the Lakers there. You were at the press conference. Describe the scene for us.
First of all, Kevin, LeBron James and Savannah were both there to support their eldest son, Bronny, but they weren't center stage. There were a row of empty seats in front of where Rob Pelinka, J.J. Redick, Dalton Connect, and Bronny James were sitting in front of the media, and LeBron and Savannah opted not to sit in those seats, rather off to the side to leave the spotlight towards their son. You also heard that word from J.J. Redick, development. Develop or development was said 18 times in today's press conference by J.J. Redick, Bronny James, Dalton Connect, and Rob Pelinka, as we are trying to recognize, or they are trying to get the media to recognize, that this is not a quick fix. This will be a process for both of these young rookies. And also, there's a ton of attention already. There was significantly more reporters in the building today than there was a week ago for J.J. Redick's introductory press conference. So there will be intrigue and interest as Bronny James takes his first steps in the NBA.
Okay, so what's now next in this process or development for Bronny?
Well, first of all, he's got to come to an agreement on a contract and sign it with the Lakers. Last year, we saw picks in the 50s sign multi-year contracts, and Lakers, they certainly expect Bronny to be a full-fledged member of the team, meaning a non-two-way guy, but that actually has to get inked. Then a few days from now, the Lakers Summer League team will go up the coast to San Francisco to play their first game in the California Classic on Saturday against the Sacramento Kings. Expect to see Bronny in the lineup then, along with Dalton Connect, but no J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick said he'll kind of be advising from the sides as he tries to fill out his staff. You'll get the Lakers South Bay G League coach Dane Johnson coaching the team both in San Francisco and then in Las Vegas next week.
Keep in mind, when they're on the floor together, maybe in the fall, this will mark the first time a father-son duo has played in the NBA at the same time in league history. Dave, thank you so much.
Kevin, we're currently the meat in an insider sandwich.
Woo!
We've got our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. We've got our front office insider, Bobby Marks, with us now. Woj, what's the next decision for LeBron and the Lakers moving forward?
Well, the Lakers have been trying to see if there was a player of some impact that they could bring in using their mid-level exception, but they've got to get the payroll down to be able to use that $13 million mid-level exception, and that LeBron James would be willing to take less money on his contract to help him get there. But the players that they identified, Klay Thompson, James Harden, Jonas Valanciunas, they've gone by the boards, and it was always going to be a long shot to get those players at that price. And so I think it's a very limited market out there. It is a limited trade market. Unless you want to put draft picks with contracts to get money off, you're going to have trouble really adding to your roster. I don't expect the Lakers to look a whole lot different on opening night than they do now. That there's some moves around the edges. I don't sense there's a big impact move out there for the Lakers or very many teams right now.
Well, Ellie, when you look at it, if LeBron signs that max contract starting at $50 million, they would essentially have to move $25 million in salary just to go out and try to get a player like DeMar DeRozan at $13 million. So you're looking at D'Angelo Russell, you're looking at Gabe Vincent. They only have 4 second-round picks to trade. They have those 2 picks in the first round, 29 and 31. They're not trading those picks just to get off salary. They're even reluctant to move second-round picks to move off those 2 players. And there's 2 teams that have cap space. Utah at $34 million and Detroit. So that's who they would have to dump those 2 players to.
Okay, he mentioned Utah. They've got a guy here as the dust is settling, Lauri Markkanen, kind of on the board for best available player on the trade block. What are you hearing?
It's Utah's preference is to not trade Lauri Markkanen, but they've got to listen right now. They're kind of where the Brooklyn Nets were with Mikal Bridges. They've spent time. Can we find that second really good player to go with him? Yeah, Bridges, Markkanen, they're not stars. You're not going to build your whole organization around them, but they're really, really good players who go with stars. And I think for Utah right now, they're listening. And once Bridges went off the board to the Knicks, teams who do want a big impact forward like Lauri Markkanen, they're calling. They're offering multiple picks. And if you're the Jazz, you look at what the Nets are doing. The Nets are going to be chasing that #1 pick next year. Do the Jazz want to take that step down? They have lots of picks moving forward. I think it's going to take a lot to get him out of Utah, but teams are calling. Sacramento has shown interest, New Orleans, Memphis at different times, San Antonio. But you have seen in Utah, whether it was the Rudy Gobert trade, Donovan Mitchell, they have held out for a very high standard for players they've traded. They're doing that with Markkanen now.
Keep an eye on August 6th. He's eligible to have his contract renegotiated. So Utah can take some of that cap space of that $34 million. They can bump it up to the max allowable. He's at an $18 million contract right now. Then they can extend him off here. So keep an eye on August 6th. The danger in trading for him is that it's unlikely he's going to sign an extension. It's 4 years, 113. It's below market value. So if you trade for him, he's going to have to play out the year and then become a free agent next offseason.
Okay, keep in mind, Markkanen averaged over 23 points and 8 rebounds for Utah last season. On a team not very good, he stood out. Fellas, thank you so much.
You'll take that production. Also, some big moves for the Cavs today. Adrian Wojnarowski reports that they are keeping star Donovan Mitchell with a 3-year, $150.3 million max extension that includes a player option for the 2027-28 season. Since trading for him a couple of years ago, Cleveland's made the playoffs in consecutive seasons. The extension well earned because just last year he set career highs in several areas, including rebounds and assists per game. In fact, he was one of just 7 players to average 26 points in 6 times, but he did miss 27 games, mostly due to knee issues, and the team's performance dropped significantly without him in the lineup, Kev.
Tuesday, the Cleveland Cavaliers tacking 3 more years onto Donovan Mitchell's deal at $50 million per. The max extension comes with a player option in year 3 and sets Spida up to reach the league's 10-year service criteria, which would then set him up for that supermax in 2027. You factor in that Darius Garland handcuff contract, and it's likely to be the Spida show for the years to come. Since acquiring Mitchell from Utah at the deadline 2 years ago, the Cavs back-to-back trips to the postseason. CBS NBA analyst John Gonzalez in with more. John, this seems like little more than housekeeping here from Cleveland for Mitchell. Now a heap of guarantees in front of him and plenty yet to play for when you look at what he could be in line for in 2027. How does this team take the next step forward around Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there were whispers, rumors that Rich Paul, who represents Darius Garland, might want him to move on if Donovan Mitchell came back, because that fit was a little wonky. But that has since quieted down. I think they might actually hold on to Garland. You know, previously people had floated maybe the San Antonio Spurs would be a good landing spot for him, but now they bring in CP and then Stephon Castle. The Magic don't have a lot of wiggle room, although they could use a guard who can shoot. The Pelicans would have been a good fit, but they just went and got DeJounte Murray, and then the Kings are looking to add, but I think they might have designs on Lauri Markkanen or maybe Brandon Ingram. So I think they might end up holding on to Darius Garland. How do they improve? I think unplugging one of the 2 bigs, either Evan Mobley or Jarrett Allen, makes a lot of sense. Evan Mobley played really well when Jarrett Allen was out during the playoffs last year. And we were just talking about the Pelicans. The Pelicans need a center. They're talking about moving Brandon Ingram. I think a swap there makes a lot of sense. but we'll see what happens. Yeah, they definitely need to upgrade, though, Joe, because the Eastern Conference, especially at the top, we already saw the Boston Celtics. They're loaded 1 through 5, 1 through 6, just won an NBA championship, steamrolled their way to title number 18. And then the Sixers and the Knicks both got considerably better. So the Cavs, it's great that they re-signed Donovan Mitchell, but they still have work to do.
You piqued my interest there with that BI thought process. Would be an interesting pairing there for Mitchell. I know we love to ride your Philly waves of emotion, but I'd like to pivot to my personal apathy for a moment. The Bulls seemingly stuck in purgatory once again. No market reported for Levine. Haven't heard much on Derozan either. Why so little chatter on the ladder for Derozan? I know LA needs shooting, wouldn't really fit that need, but a hometown guy could be value at this point for the Lakers. What's the latest you're hearing on Derozan?
Yeah, I mean, DeMar, everybody is, I guess, kind of expecting that it will be the Lakers because he's the biggest name available and the Lakers want to add. I just wonder, as you mentioned, about the fit, right? Because he doesn't shoot the three. That's never been his thing for his entire career. For his career, he's sub 30% from beyond the arc, so that's not great. Now, on the other hand, at 34 years old, the guy is always available. He only missed 17 games in 3 seasons with the Bulls. He gets to the line. He's a bucket. So it would be kind of a wonky fit for a Lakers team that was bottom of the league with the Denver Nuggets in terms of three-point attempts taken. Three-point percentage, not great for the team. They bring in Dalton Connect to be a guy who could potentially shoot for them. They bring back D'Angelo Russell, who picks up his player option. He's a three-point threat. That wouldn't be DeMar DeRozan's game, but as you mentioned, he is a SoCal native. So they're probably the odds-on favorites there. If not, you look around the league and you go, well, who has money? Not that many teams anymore because everybody already made some moves. So you're looking at the Hornets. I don't think he wants to go there. The Jazz aren't really looking to add. They're looking to sell. The Spurs, maybe he has a reunion there. 2 teams we're hearing recently, Joe, the Kings and the Heat. Like I said, the Kings, they're looking to upgrade, and the Heat, same deal. The Heat have fallen pretty far behind, at least on paper, in the Eastern Conference, so keep an eye on them as well.
Yeah, he's masked a lot of inefficiencies in Chicago. Perhaps he could do that for L.A. as well. Let's hear from Lakers GM Rob Pelinka on how the Lakers might reconstruct.
If the right deal comes and we have to put in draft picks, we will. I think we've talked about it before. We're now in the apron world. We've seen, contending teams or championship level teams have to lose players. That's a result of the apron world we're living in. So does it make trades more challenging? Yes. Does it make good trades impossible? No. So we'll continue to pursue upgrades to our roster.
No news is no news. The Lake Show busy introducing new coaches and players, but as we've talked about here, yet to land any free agent additions. The franchise reportedly swinging and missing on this trio, including Klay Thompson, took that 3-year, $50 million deal in Dallas.
I can't even explain how you stuck in my brain. I perceive you more beautiful than words could explain. I've been breathing your name like the air that keeps me living. You can feel my vibe. All the love that I've been giving, I can see in your eyes that you are longing to receive. When I'm in your presence, I never want to leave, cause I need your kiss. Tease me, miss. Loving this, feed me bliss. Destined to meet, yeah, we's be this.
Black girl magic. Oh, yeah. Black girl. Ooh.
So our eyes met, and instantly I was drawn. Give me the chance to be your man in the sun. I'm looking at you in ways that might reveal what I'm thinking. Just a thought, you smile, intoxication like I'm drinking, sinking further to the thought of getting with you. Cultivating the bond, and just some player after hit you off a human relationship. Avoid the stress and drama, a positive brother. Feel the love in my aura.
Black girl magic.